Good evening, sports fans, and welcome back to the only news channel that brings you the raw, unfiltered truth from the ice. Are you ready for a seismic shift in the NHL's trade landscape, or is this just another masterclass in expectation management from one of the league's most intriguing GMs? Because when a general manager publicly declares he's willing to overpay for the right piece, you know the stakes are higher than ever, and the whispers around the league are about to turn into a roaring crescendo. We're diving deep into the bold, almost audacious strategy emerging from the Montreal Canadiens front office, a strategy that could redefine their future and send shockwaves across the hockey world. Let's get right into it. In a league often shrouded in secrecy and carefully crafted public relations, Kent Hughes, the general manager of the Montreal Canadiens, has once again proven he's not one to follow the conventional playbook. Hughes, a man who has, by all accounts, maintained a remarkably good batting average since taking the helm in 2022, has reiterated a philosophy that would make many of his peers squirm. He's prepared to pay a premium, to overpay if you will, to secure a deal that propels his club to the next level. Now, let's be clear, this isn't a slip of the tongue. This is a deliberate, repeated statement, a strategic declaration that flies in the face of typical executive discourse. Hughes, known for his calm demeanor and shrewd dealings, doesn't view individual transactions as isolated victories or losses on a balance sheet. Instead, he champions a holistic approach, emphasizing that every move must be considered in conjunction with a broader vision for the team. This perspective, while perhaps less dramatic than a headline-grabbing individual win, speaks volumes about his long-term strategic thinking. He's not chasing fleeting public approval for a single trade. He's building a sustainable contender, piece by painstaking piece. And perhaps, just perhaps, this public transparency is a calculated move to manage the ever-present, often ravenous, expectations of the Canadiens' passionate fan base. After all, Hughes has a knack for surprising fans with deals and signings that often exceed initial expectations. Could this be his way of tempering the waters, preparing them for a move that might, on paper, look expensive, but in his grand design is absolutely essential? The implications of Hughes's overpay philosophy are vast, and they've certainly set the rumor mill ablaze. Jonathan Bernier, a respected voice in hockey journalism, recently highlighted Hughes's unwavering stance. If a move helps the Canadiens win, the price, no matter how steep, will be justified. This isn't just about acquiring talent. It's about acquiring the right talent, the missing puzzle piece that unlocks the team's full potential. And if you've been following the Canadiens' trajectory, you know exactly where the spotlight shines brightest. The elusive second-line center. For months, if not years, the quest for a legitimate top-six center has been a recurring theme in Montreal. Hughes might publicly state he never set a hard deadline of summer 2025 for this acquisition, but let's be realistic. It was undoubtedly a strong preference. However, he's also right to assert that it's not too late. The market for elite centers is notoriously thin, and the price of admission is always exorbitant. Hughes, with his finger firmly on the pulse of the league, understands this better than anyone. His repeated statements about being willing to overpay feel like a deliberate effort to condition the fan base, to prepare them for the reality that acquiring a game-changing center will likely cost more than many initially anticipated. This isn't about throwing money away. It's about strategic investment in a position that can fundamentally alter the team's offensive capabilities and overall competitiveness. It's a high-stakes poker game, and Hughes is showing his hand, daring other GMs to call his bluff, or perhaps to meet his price. Now, let's venture into the realm of high-stakes speculation, because when a GM talks about overpaying for a piece that takes you to the next level, and the conversation inevitably circles back to the most iconic name in hockey, Sidney Crosby, things get incredibly interesting. We know that Crosby, a living legend, holds significant control over his destiny in Pittsburgh. But even with that control, the Penguins are not going to simply give him away. If, and this is a colossal if, everything were to revolve around Sidney Crosby becoming available, Hughes' statements take on an entirely new dimension. He might be subtly signaling to the hockey world, and specifically to the Penguins front office, that even if Crosby dictates his future, the cost of acquiring such a generational talent would still be astronomical. Imagine the scenario: a player of Crosby's caliber, even in the twilight of his career, could instantly transform a franchise. The overpay in this context wouldn't just be about draft picks and prospects. It would be about the sheer audacity of such a move, the immediate impact on ticket sales, merchandise, and the morale of an entire city. This kind of move isn't just about winning games. It's about cementing a legacy. And if you're a young, promising prospect like Michael Hage or David Reinbacher, hearing your GM talk about overpaying for a next-level piece, especially with the Crosby whispers swirling, you might be feeling a little bit of stress right about now. Despite Hughes' usual ability to navigate complex situations without seemingly overpaying, the current rhetoric suggests he's ready to break that mold for the right opportunity. It's a testament to the urgency and the ambition driving the Canadiens' rebuild, a clear signal that they're not content with incremental improvements. They're aiming for a leap, and they're willing to pay the price for it. So, what does this all mean for the Montreal Canadiens and their passionate fan base? It means Kent Hughes is playing chess, not checkers. He's not afraid to be transparent, even if that transparency reveals a willingness to spend big. This isn't just about acquiring a player. It's about acquiring the right player, the one who fits the long-term vision, the one who can truly elevate the team from a promising young squad to a legitimate contender. The overpay isn't a sign of desperation. It's a calculated risk, an investment in a future where the Canadiens are consistently competing at the highest level. It's a bold strategy, one that demands patience, but also promises excitement. The stage is set, the pieces are moving, and the hockey world is watching to see just how high Kent Hughes is willing to go to bring the Canadiens to that coveted next level. What do you think? Is overpaying ever truly worth it for a franchise-altering piece? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for tonight's deep dive. If you enjoyed this analysis and want to stay on top of all the breaking news and insights, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Your engagement fuels our passion for bringing you the best in sports journalism. Until next time, keep the puck on the ice and keep the conversation going.